'Twixt Earth and Stars by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. Dedicated to my inspiration. I know that through the waves of air, some part of all I feel for you must surely travel swift and true towards the heart for which I care so dumbly, and before it lay, the words my lips shall never say. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. In a Garden by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. In the garden 1,000 roses, a vine of jessamine flower, sweet peas in coquettish poses, sweetbriar with its fragrant dower. There are hollyhocks tall and slender, and marigolds gay and fair, and sunflowers in glowing splendor, geraniums rich and rare, and the wee white innocent daisy, half hidden amid the lawn, a bee grown drowsy and lazy, on honey he's drunk since dawn, is reposing with wings extended on some soft passionate rose, aglow with the blush more splendid than ever a fair cheek knows, while a thrush in the ivy swinging that clusters over the gate, athrob with the spring is singing, and ardently calls his mate. For the spirit of all sweet odors, the soul of a June unborn, has hallowed my humble garden, and whispered to me since dawn, and the flowers in a prayer of rapture, bent low to that spell divine, are wafting their sweetest incense in clouds at his sunlit shrine. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
If You Were a Rose and I Were the Sun by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Niedermaier. If you were a rose and I were the sun, what then, little girl, what then? I'd kiss you awake when day had begun, my sweet little girl, what then? I'd waken you out of your valley of dreams, and open your heart with my passionate beams, till you lifted your face to my ruddiest gleams, my own little girl, yes, then. If you were the earth and I were the dew, what then, little girl, what then? Why, surely the thing all lovers would do, my sweet little girl, what then? I'd steal through the twilight over valley and lea, and flood you with kisses both tender and free, till the soul in you throbbed with the love that's in me, my own little girl, yes, then. But I am a man and you are a maid, what then, little girl, what then? You're cold in your pride and I am afraid, my sweet little girl, what then? If you cannot love me and I cannot die, there's nothing in life but the ghost of a sigh, and the day growing dark 'neath a colourless sky, my own little girl, yes, then. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Drifting by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. It is sweet to lie in a boat and drift with the languid stream, with body and soul afloat, the lake of a perfect dream. It is sweet in the afternoon, with just the breath of a breeze, if the time be the month of June, and the birds sing low in the trees, and the mind has a pleasant thought, and the heart has a fond desire, and the soul is a tissue wrought of youth and its golden fire, and the limbs are both clean and strong, and able to rest with joy, and our time in the world is long, with nothing that can destroy, the rapture of God's green earth, the throb and the ecstasy that springs into life with birth and lives through eternity. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Two by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. Dear heart, I was going away. Could you not have spared me an hour of all your bountiful day? No moment, no word, no flower to keep, not even a tear. My soul was so thirsty, dear. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Love Triumphant by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. Ere the first grief was born, love was. And after griefs are gone, love still shall triumph on. Ere the first grief was born, love was. In Eden grief became love's slave. For in the dust and woe, lost Adam still could know fond recompense, and so did grief become love's slave. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. My Rose by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. A rose, but what can it say, so tender and sweet and dumb? What part of my love convey, what thrill of the joys to come? I send it, but how shall you, dear heart, ever understand that rapturous tear of dew it drops on your strong white hand? Or know that my lips have pressed those petals until they blush, or feel that my heart has blessed the flower that your touch may crush? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. If Only by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. Oh, if one could only learn not to care, to be utterly indifferent storm or fair, and to say there's always pain with the joy, I don't complain, for the sunshine draws the rain everywhere. Oh, if one could only learn not to feel, to be absolutely callous, false or real, and to let the world go by with a laugh to cap its sigh, with a jest to meet its lie, cold as steel. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Confession by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org by Niedermaier. Within the portals of thy shrine, before thy presence, dearest mine, I kneel, beseeching thee to bless my penitence while I confess. And can a saint do any less? If I have sinned as others do, all human hearts the wide world through are erring things, and then with me my greatest wrong was loving thee. Wilt thou condemn my constancy? Look down, dear heart, and let thine eyes commend my soul to paradise. He little sins who sins in this, that to obtain eternal bliss seeks the communion of a kiss. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Sunlight on Distant Hills, Ledbury, by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. But a moment since and the sun was shining over the hills that I see from my room, and now the rain and the mist come driving out of the west in a cloud of gloom. Over the woods and meadows and gardens hurries the storm like the hand of doom. But a moment hence and the cloud shall vanish, breaking and drifting and all asunder, and lo, in their midst will the sky be lying, calm and blue with a peaceful wonder. Nothing may alter, though sorrow and tempest torture the earth as she trembles under. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
My Love by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Julia Niedermaier. My love is a bird with a broken wing, alone in a stormy night. My love is a lark that forgets to sing, and dies with the morning light. My love is a rose that the wind has torn and crushed with a breath of pain. My love is song with the sweetness gone, a tune with a lost refrain. My love is a ghost that has missed its way, a spirit from heaven cast. My love is a joy of a bygone day, the soul of a burning past. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Memory by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. No, I have not forgotten you, although I went my way, unanswered, as you wished me to, with none to bid me stay. For in my heart there is a space whose door you closed to me, locked in the memory of your face, then took away the key. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Two by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. What you deny me, you gave. You cannot take it again. In life and after the grave, there is something that even then death will not kill or destroy. It is so with the hearts of men. Even your pride cannot rob my life of its blessed past. You cannot recall one throb, one glance of the many cast from those dear, passionate eyes. These things will be mine to the last. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. On the Mountain by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. Below and above, yes, over and under us, swift clouds hover and speed and fly. Nothing we see that can hurt or sunder us, here in the arms of the circling sky. Surely we two must belong to each other, silently mated where none are nigh, save God our Father and earth our mother, and sweetest of all, dear, you and I. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Two by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. When she turns aside to pass us by, with a little smile or a glance only, we are all alone, my heart and I. We are all alone and very lonely. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Prayer by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. There stood beside the road a shrine, in whose quaint vaulted shadow smiled, with eyes of tenderness divine, the Blessed Virgin and her child. And I, who wandered all alone along a rough and weary way, felt that a great desire had grown within my heart to kneel and pray. But lo, my voice had lost the power to utter words so deep and sweet, and so I breathed them in a flower and left it at the Virgin's feet. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
If by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Niedermaier. If all the words you spoke, dear, were every one untrue, there can be nothing good, dear, in earth or sun or dew, and all the world's a lie, dear, because of you. If all the smiles you gave, dear, were only to beguile, why then there's nothing sweet, dear, in any human smile. And what we deem most fair, dear, is only vile. If every kiss that lingered upon the lips you pressed was but an empty token more fickle than the rest, I wish that I had died, dear, for death were best. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Lament by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. Like a song that is sung, like a tale that is told, the life in me hushes the voice of its gladness. Youth walks by my side, but his hands have grown cold, and deep in his eyes lurks the shadow of sadness. Alas, for the flowers that never come to me! Alas, for the morning again, now day closes! The joy of a love is as nothing, for through me there passes the deep wounding thorn of the roses. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Two by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. The winds on the hill, the suns on the lea, the larks on the wing, and the dawns on the sea, and the rapture that springeth of love is on me. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Thoughts by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. Ah, the kiss of the sweet night air, and the still deep eyes of the cloudy skies grow dim with peace. Peace, the angel of death that is everywhere. Ah, the bliss of the soul at rest, and of eyes that weep, growing calm in sleep, hushed by night. Night, the shadow of death, that in blessing is blessed. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Ships by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. Fair ships, happy and free, smile on the lonely sea, only to fade again into the mist and rain. Ah me, thus do bright hopes appear on life's vast ocean drear, hopes that beguile the mind, and passing leave behind a tear. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Dream Child by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. There is a child who will come to me often at dusk when my mind is free. She is the child that I used to be when I was only 9. Over her hair is a wreath of flowers. Those are the thoughts of the golden hours spent in the glory of childhood's bowers. Fancy, those thoughts were mine. Butterflies whiter than flakes of snow hover around her lips, and oh, they are the prayers that I used to know. God may remember still. God, who they tell us will not forget even a penitent child's regret. Now I am callous of prayers, and yet, ah, How I hope that he will. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Day by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. The day walks over the mountains, to the splash of 1,000 fountains, to the song of 1,000,000 streams. Her hair is unbound and flowing, her eyes are as bluebells growing in a valley of shade and dreams. Her breast than the snow is whiter, her lips than the poppies brighter. Her limbs are as strong white fire. Thus she comes from the sky above her to the arms of the earth, her lover, in a splendor of warm desire. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. From My Soul by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. Oh, but to find expression for the thoughts, so marvelous and yet so undefined, that flow from out the palpitating soul to consecrate the mind. Oh, but to have the gift to put in words that potent passion, that divine desire, that thrills the aching spirit with unrest and sets the brain on fire. Oh, God, but once to rise above the flesh, to breathe our inmost thoughts in one vast sigh of rapture. Oh, to realize ourselves, and at that moment die. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. We by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. We who are made, brave yet afraid, happy yet sad, good and yet bad, sane and yet mad, what can we do? Turmoil and strife, passion and life, love and desire, can these inspire spiritual fire? How can we live? Stumbling feet, tasks incomplete, longings that kill, even the will left to fulfill. How can we die? Little have we, bond and yet free, strong and yet weak, proud and yet meek, save but to seek God in it all. God with his hands holds all the lands, rules every sea, sets the winds free, counts every tree, makes every leaf. Then shall we fear? He placed us here. If God commands, God understands, ponders and plans, knowing it all. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. To Singers by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. Sing with all your intellect and soul combined, not all technique, nor yet all wild emotion. Thus shall you touch the heart and please the mind, winning a real and merited devotion. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The May Tree by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. A garden in the month of May, the fading of a golden day upon the tulip flowers, an anthem sung by little birds, the sigh more eloquent than words of earth to listening hours, and shadows like the fringe that lies on cheek at close of drowsy eyes, and paths grown damp with dew, and secret places where to tread were to disturb the bridal bed of creatures born anew. And fairer than each living thing that stirs with longings of the spring, a May tree bearing flower. Like some young nymph the sunlight charms, she stretches forth her slender arms, new decked with leafy dower. While through her wondrous living form the sap of life leaps strong and warm, awaking from repose. The folded buds to know the spring, it seems I almost hear them sing, for rapture as it flows. Ay, and it seems as though my heart strained upward but to take some part in that sweet hymn of praise, as though my pulses quicker beat to see perfection so complete revealed to my gaze, as though the problem of unrest were solved at last in this behest to silently fulfill, and deeper still my soul perceives the mighty presence that conceives such beauty at its will. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Purgatory by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. She said, I want to live no matter what the penalty. Give me on earth the lot I most desire. Let me drink deep of love, of joy, of life. Scatter the roses, let the wine run rife. Dear gods above, and then let fall the knife. I will expire. The gods smiled sadly, very well they knew her ardent spirit could ascend the blue and force their will. Such weak old deities these latter days could but comply to her imperious ways. With woeful doubts they showed the flowery maze of rapturous ill. And she was happy with that hot content that burns away the flesh, that ravishment of youth grown bold, until one morn the roses of her bed were turned to nettles, all the joy was dead, the passion cold. She cried, Now let me die, to live a day were purgatory, see the awful way I gaze upon. The gods were silent, powerless to avert the consequence, grown wearily inert, so she lived on. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Two by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. The sound of the waves is the sound of tears, and the wind that drifts on the sea is the restless ghost of the bygone years with their pain and their ecstasy. The far white ships with their shining sails are the hopes of a faithful heart, sent forth to fight through the storm and gales with never a guiding chart. And what of the pilot who stands above and steadfastly holds the wheel? Oh, he is the man who believed in love before he forgot to feel. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Spring Posy by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. A spray of blossoms, and as well some violets gathered yesterday from leafy wood and shaded dell, sweet children of a fruitful May, dear minstrels of that silent lay more potent than an organ's swell. And now they're withered, all the joy has gone forever, and the scent. Relentless fingers can alloy so much of nature's sentiment, so many strains of deep content, it takes so little to destroy. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Awakening by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. To open both your drowsy eyes, to stretch your limbs and realize that day is here. To watch the dancing, shifting beam of sun awake yet half in dream, uncertain if the fitful gleam be far or near. To turn with soft, contented sigh, and through the window watch the sky, all opal blue. To feel the air steal in the room, made fragrant by the soft perfume of lime trees when their scented bloom is damp with dew. To hear the rustling voice of leaves, the chirp of birds beneath the eaves, but now awake. The tiny hum of timid things that fly with gauzy, fragile wings, where yet the dusk to daylight clings when mornings break. To feel the soul look forth and smile, contented with each fruitful mile that it beholds. To hear the heart beat loud and strong, in unison with nature's song, that echoes tremulous and long while dawn unfolds. To know yourself a thing complete, with strength of mind and limb replete with vast desire. A creature made to dominate the lesser things of earth, a fate on whom the universe must wait with force entire. And then to cry in deep delight, God made the world and made it right, dear heaven above. Was e'er completeness so complete? Was ever sweetness half so sweet? Was ever loving half so meet? Thank God for love. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. She is Dead by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. Well, she is dead and gone. God willed it so. Died ere her child was born, ever to know. Dead, oh, how still and cold, yet full of rest. She was not very old, still it was best. Hush, chide her not now, save by a tear dropped on that marble brow so smooth and dear. Pity her as she lies there all alone. Tenderly close her eyes, sorrowful groan. Yes, she has sinned, maybe, willing to fall, yet now forgive. Ah, see, death atones all. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Two by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. Dear, if you were in this city, in this misty, dreary city, with its somber walls and towers, all its poorer streets and byways, all its richer streets and highways, all the buildings stern and old, and the river deep and cold, would become as summer to me, decked with sweet, perfuming flowers. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Whole of It by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Anusha, Iyer. A joy that passes, a pain that stays, such is life. A moment's rapture, then weary days, years of strife, such is life. A kiss of passion, a sigh of pain, such is love. A flash of splendor, then night again, God above, such is love. A sudden blindness, a creeping fear, such is death. An awful vastness, an unknown sphere, choking breath, and then death. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Song by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org. A cloud is over the sun, the wind is laden with rain, a frost has smitten the flowers, the time of winter is pain. But kiss me and I shall live, the sun shall nourish the plain. The dawn be happy with birds, and love brings summer again. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. If Like the Bird by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org. If like the bird who sits and swings upon a branch and blithely sings, I could but spread two faithful wings, and by their aid could smoothly skim the highest peaks, the summits dim, until I reached the sunlight's rim. Would I not then in pity gaze upon the turmoil and the maze of earth and all its foolish ways? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Fragment by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org. Chance made me look at you. Chance was no friend. Sight made me worship you. Time without end. Had I been only blind, what had I cared? And thus, afflicted sore, how much been spared? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. An Even Psalm by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org. With silent feet all wet with dew, comes evening full of soft repose, to kiss the valley deep and blue, with wistful lips and eyes that close. Her breath is soft and full of peace, her arms outstretched to caress, fling benedictions without cease, she seems a spirit born to bless. And as the evening to the earth came love to me, a boon most rare, hushed every sorrow at its birth, and turned complaining into prayer. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Butterfly by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org. A butterfly hovered over a flower in a bower, with the joy of life at his lips for an hour. With the rose's petals against his wings, and the rose's perfume that steals and clings, touching every breath with a wondrous power. Then the night came on, and the wind blew cold over the world. The butterfly shivered, grown tired and old. The rose closed her passionate eyes and slept, while death to her lover in silence crept. He died of a joy untold. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Disappointment by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org. How little there is that e'er goes right in this old world of ours. Anticipation? A vague delight. Reality? Well, the rose with a blight, the thorn that comes with the flowers. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
To the Sea by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org by NoelBadrian. What can I sing to thee, O thrice beloved sea? What words can paint thy grace, the beauty of thy face, enwrapped with ecstasy? Fling up thy foamy arms, laden with cooling balms, and touch me where I stand here on the yearning land, with soft embrace that calms. I gaze into thine eyes, where mystic shadow lies, and love lights glow and gleam within their emerald beam, and passion lives and dies. Until my heart grows still beneath thy magic will, and I can hear and see naught but thy song and thee, that seems the world to fill. Upon thy swelling breast, restless and yet at rest, my spirit floats and sings, while summer laughs and springs from off thy snow-white crest. behold my hot desire For thee to quench the fire With dewy kiss that slips From thy divine wet lips, Making my joy entire. Lift up thine endless song, And echo it along, Until all space rejoice In thine enchanted voice, That sounds so sweet and strong. Until the rocks and beach Break forth in answering speech, And every listening shell Some praise of thee can tell, Some joy of thee can teach. O sea that knows no death, O life-inspiring breath, The heart of me would praise The glory of thy days, Thine evenings fathomless. The soul in me would sing To that eternal spring Beneath thy heaving breast, Where lurk the depths of rest, The end of everything. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
After All by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Anusha Iyer. The gladness and the pain, the sunshine and the rain, the laughter and the sigh, they all must pass and die. And in the by and by, who will care to question why? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. You by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Anusha Iyer. You have my thoughts and know it not. The livelong day I think of you. The still dark night I dream of you. Each moment's life I live to you, and yet you know it not. You have my heart and know it not. Its every beat is love for you. Each sigh a drop of blood for you. Its ceaseless ache regret for you, and yet you know it not. You have my soul and know it not. It makes you God and worships you, forgets its claim on heaven for you, forsakes its hope of life for you, and yet you know it not. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Remember by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org. Remember, sweet, some evening when you sit with idle hands and book but half read through, when those dear eyes of yours find incomplete the landscape deep in shade and wet with dew, when that clear mind of yours goes wandering out to seek contentment, aye, and finds no rest, when those grave thoughts of yours are filled with doubt and vague mistrust of all the world deems best. Remember, for 1 hour we conquered fate, filled in the blanks and set the puzzle right. We were complete, a glorious living whole, a perfect cadence of supreme delight. I think eternity was ours that night. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. An Echo by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org. In passion's hour I met you, and now that from my soul I'm old, whenever I watch the pale young moon or misty glow of sunset gold, some echo of the past comes back, like wild sweet song o'er lonely track, lest I should ever forget you. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Flower Love by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org. Where is she? Sighed the rose trees, the honeysuckle creepers, the pansies and the lilies and the little hidden flowers. We are lonely here without her, in the sunlight, in the twilight, in the daytime, in the night-time, through the solitary hours. I know not, said the young wind, yet will I surely seek her, and whisper low your message, O faithful-hearted few, for men may kiss in passing, and the world forget its passion, but the soil remembers ever, and the love of flowers is true. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Fond Lover by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Mihai Borobocea. I am but little in your sight, a passing thought, a fleeting light that gone, forgotten lies. The humble pastime that you chose to honor as you might a rose, o'er which you cast your eyes. Were I some simple, lifeless thing, a book you read, an oft-worn ring, a favorite flower you wear, I might be close to you and know the rapture and the living glow of lips and breast and hair. But as it is, the earth you press, the clinging texture of your dress, the jewel on your hand, know more of heaven and joys therein than I, whose soul has never been where it could understand. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Roses Fall by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Newgatenovelist. One by one the roses' petals fall to earth, though God's sun is still above them, and the ardent breezes love them, they must die. Ere their greatest joy is born, lo, they wither and are gone. Like a rose, my hope must perish in a sigh. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Fragment by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Newgatenovelist. If you were just one street away, one only, I know that in my heart I'd say I'm lonely. But with the world between us two a-lying, I hear my soul cry out, for you I'm dying. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Dissatisfaction by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Newgatenovelist. Our love is near akin unto regret. We love, and are beloved again, and yet there oft is something that we lack. So life is very near akin to death. We live and laugh a while, yet with each breath something is passing that will ne'er come back. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
One Evening by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by NoelBadrian. The damp sweet smell of the earth after rain, a golden rift in the sky, the deepening twilight, the purple plain, and you and I. The strange still hush of the slumbering world, the mist in the wood close by, a deer that nibbles a leaf dew-pearled, and you and I. The falling rain has left tremulous lakes, where the shattered branches lie. The storm has bowed the tree till it breaks, and you and I. Yet the green earth smiles through the tears she wept, with one long rapturous sigh. The noon in the arms of night has crept, and you and I. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Two by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by NoelBadrian. I thought that I might see you, sweet, that after all this weary year, by some good fortune we might meet, and kiss each other here. I told my heart to bide a while, and not to faint with vain regret. I even forced my lips to smile, my conscience to forget. I killed depression as it rose, and built new castles on the sand. This was the place my fancy chose, that I should hold your hand. And I have held your hand, my dear, a second, daring not to press your fingertips, in mortal fear to meet your eyes. And yet I bless that little moment none the less. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. My Soul the Deathless by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by NoelBadrian. Hush! My soul is singing. Through the still night ringing sounds its voice, till the dark in wonder seemeth cleft asunder, and the stars rejoice. Even the air is breathless, for my soul, the deathless, sings of thee, beats its wings of fire in the vast desire for eternity, lifts its eyes of splendour full of deep surrender for thy sake, bids me let it press thee in its arms, and bless thee till thy love awake. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. What Am I? By Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by NoelBadrian. What am I to presume to say? Were you good or bad? Was I wrong or right? After all, life's only a day, and perhaps a night. What am I to set up for judge? Shall I wound myself with a vain regret? Our fleeting pleasure, if time begrudge, can he not forget? The thrill of it all is past, we know. Say we both were right, and we both were wrong. There's little enough joy here below, and love's none too long. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. What a Pity by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by NoelBadrian. What a pity that all our wishes and most of our prayers are vain, when we strive to recall a pleasure or crave to forget a pain, when the motives we deemed sufficient seem paltry and mean and weak, and the goal we'd have lost our soul for is that which we least would seek, and the pride of those vast ambitions that rendered our hopes so great has become but the coal-black cinders consumed in the fire of fate. What a pity that blind with folly we fancied all incomplete, every flower of the true contentment that grew by our careless feet, nor did pause in our path to gather the fruits of a gracious spring, or to seek in our hearts the anthem we called on the world to sing. Ah well, maybe God will remember, as payment of many debts, the penance of sad non-attainments, the sackcloth of vain regrets. And perhaps the recording angel may wipe out the faults of years with the hem of his shining garment, grown damp with a sinner's tears. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Song by Radclyffe Hall. read for LibriVox.org by NoelBadrian. Good morning, sweet. 1,000 little birds their requiem to you sing, and tender flowers with soft perfuming words their greetings bring. Good morning, sweet. This faithful heart of mine offers devotion vast as heaven above. Beneath thy window worships at thy shrine. Good morning, love. Good morning, sweet. The glory of the day is naught compared to thee. Come forth and smile with rapture bright and gay, that I may see. Good morning, sweet. Look up that I may live. Kiss me that I may taste of heaven here. The joys of paradise are thine to give. Good morning, dear. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Tiredness by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Mihai Borobocea. It is weary, weary this waiting for that which can never be. It is dreary, dreary this mating with tears and despondency. And methinks if beneath the grasses there was somewhere both still and deep, I would close my eyes to the morning and thankfully fall asleep. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
On the Lagoon by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org by Anusha Iyer. A gondola, the still lagoon, a summer's night, an August moon. The splash of oars, a distant song, a little sigh and, was it wrong? A kiss, both passionate and long. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Morning on Como by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org. A symphony in pink and blue, a rhapsody of sun and dew, a virgin Venus born anew, lay Como in the morning. And would to heaven some muse divine could guide this erring pen of mine, I cried, to paint such grace as thine, sweet Como in the morning. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. In Rome by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org. Daybreak. The heavy rumble in the street of wagons journeyed from the sun-baked plains. A laugh, an oath, as chance acquaintance meet. The bark of dogs, the crack of whip and reins, and then, with booming of combined refrains, the ringing, swinging, singing bells of Rome. Sunset, and purple shadows over the dome of sky above St. Peter's, and the square as silent as a graveyard and as dumb. Within the church, a peasant deep in prayer, and like a challenge through the languid air, the ringing, swinging, singing bells of Rome. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Two by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org. The day is warm and mellow, the fields are gold and yellow, and in the misty distance the hills are purple blue. The spring is up and stirring, the pheasant's wing is whirring, and there is nothing lacking in all the world but you. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Hopes by Radclyffe Hall. Read for LibriVox.org. Our hopes are like the mountains that arise and to our dim, imperfect human eyes seem in their splendid height to touch the skies. Yet when we've toiled up many a weary day, we find the summit desolate and grey, and lo, the heavens still smiling far away. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Memory by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org. Ah dear, how memory stirs of meadows and soft-voiced thrushes, of winds that sang amid firs, or piped on the cool damp rushes, of twilights and early dawns, and times when the earth is fairest, of gardens with dewy lawns, and flowers when their scent is rarest, of noontide and humming bees that gather the love of roses, of night-time and sighing trees, and clouds where the moon reposes. And dearest, of just we two alone in this world of splendor, where everything lived for you in glorious sweet surrender. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The River by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org. O river, sweet river, how placidly you wander, yet bearing on your bosom so many lovers' vows, cannot the throb of passion arouse one wave in answer, or stir to sighing cadence your silent willow boughs? Must always, forever, your brow be smooth and tranquil, though hearts may break in anguish or burn with ecstasy? Is there no secret message that may arouse your wonder at all this vast emotion that thrills eternity? Some day though, O river, you too shall feel the magic of all your depths awakened, of every tide set free. Remember us in that time, we loving ones who sought you, when you have left the meadows for the embracing sea. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Two by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org. Let not the morning break ere I shall say, Thou art the sun that brightens all the day, Thou art the rose that perfumes all the air, Thou art the soul of all that is most fair. Let not the evening fall ere I shall say, Thou art the star that guides me on my way, Thou art the moon whose beams are everywhere, Thou art my rest, my blessing, and my prayer. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Shall I Complain by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org. Shall I complain because the rain has spoiled the flowers? Shall I despair because the air is damp with showers? Shall I forget that even yet new buds will spring? And shall I sigh while still there's by one bird to sing? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Two by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org. But let me tell you all I feel, and then, if you must still deny, no tears shall dim my sight, no sigh shall pass my lips, I'll only kneel before you in the dust and say, Tread on me as you go your way. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Mistress Spring, Song by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org. Sweet Mistress Spring, all decked mountain crane, how fresh you look this morning. 'Tis sure a year since we have seen such flowers your brow adorning. And will you come and walk with me? I'll prove an ardent lover. Beneath the boughs of some kind tree, we'll seek convenient cover. There will I praise with light refrain your most enchanting weather, while you shall make a daisy chain to bind our hearts together. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. What's Wrong by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org. There's something wrong with the world today. What can it be? What can it be? The morn is at 6 and the year's at May, so mayhap that something's wrong with me. But there's something wrong with the joyous sound of the thrush in the apple tree. There's something gone from my heart, I trow. That then is why the flower seems dead on the orchard bough, and never a sunbeam is in the sky. There's something gone, and the light of dawn is the dimmer when you're not by. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Gentle Dame Priscilla by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org. Gentle Dame Priscilla at her wheel is singing, singing of her lover very far away. Would I were that lover, from my hiding springing, I would stop her singing in my own fond way. Gentle Dame Priscilla at her wheel is spinning fancies of her lover, who has gone to sea. Would I were that lover, honey-tied and winning, it were then no sinning, though I kissed her free. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. To the Nightingale by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org. O Nightingale, has that pale star heard you sobbing your passion into a song? Has she deigned to stoop from her throne of splendor, deigned to pity your life's surrender, deigned to throw you a beam smile tender, you who have waited and loved so long? O Nightingale, is your wondrous music cleaving the depths of the dark apart, born of a hope that is wearily dying? Is she ever and aye denying that for which you are always sighing? Do you sing with a broken heart? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Morning Thought by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org. Wind and mist of the upland places, thrill and hush of the cloud-swept spaces, glow of sky that the sun embraces over a world of dew. Purple dusk of the sweet Scotch heather, golden gorse in the summer weather, hand in hand, you and I together, if it were only true. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Today by Radclyffe Hall, read from LibriVox.org by Jamila. Today is a bumper of golden wine, drink deep, deep, deep. While the earth is green and the cup is thine, for there cometh an hour when a man must weep, and there cometh a time when a man must sleep, so drink deep, deep, deep. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Love's Command by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org by Jamila. Love lifted up his eyes to mine, and in their depth did I behold a flame so potent yet divine, that all the world beside seemed cold. Dear love, I cried, come enter in, and warm my heart with living fire. Love answered, first cast out the sin, and rid my dwelling of desire. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Chance Meeting by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org by Jamila. I looked up. You were standing there close beside me, and just for a second our glances met, and lingered and mingled yet. I went on. You had turned and the spell was broken. My temples throbbed and my hands were cold. I was longing, hopeless, and almost old. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Italian Spring by Radclyffe Hall, read from LibriVox.org by Jamila. It is the spring, and what could be so sweet a thing as early spring in Italy? To make the boon more wondrous rare, you've caught the sunlight in your hair, and happy slave it dances there. To steal the splendor from the skies, you draw their color to your eyes, like deep blue lakes of paradise. It is the spring, and what could be so sweet a thing as early spring in Italy, and you with me. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Two by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org by Jamila. Oh, the awful pity of it all, that I ever learned to care for you, that we ever chanced to meet at all, since we neither of us could be true. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Dirge of a Lonely Garden by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org by Lehman. I am a garden, alone, alone. O little swallow, pity me. Over my paths have the lichens grown. O little swallow, pity me. Down by the river the reeds are dank. Close to the portal the grass is rank. Nettles take birth on the lily bank. O little swallow, pity me. Once in the earliest days she came. O little swallow, pity me. Sowing the seeds of my after fame. O little swallow, pity me. Beautiful hands she had, and lo, all that they touched would thrill and grow up to the sun of her eyes aglow. O little swallow, pity me. Beautiful feet she had that fell. O little swallow, pity me. Like the caress of one loved well. O little swallow, pity me. Over the lawn at the twilight hour. Sometimes she wandered to pick a flower. Sometimes she paused in the jasmine bower. O little swallow, pity me. Then she would speak to me, sweet my own. O little swallow, pity me. Words from her heart to my heart alone. O little swallow, pity me. Tender and ardent and secret things sprang to her lips as the water springs up from the earth where the blue mist clings. O little swallow, pity me. I am a garden grown desolate. O little swallow, pity me. I of them all will remember yet. O little swallow, pity me. Summer may come and summer may go. I of them all who have known her know love cannot die though the loved one go. O little swallow, pity me. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Resignation by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org by Lehman. I asked you for your love again, and I presumed too much it seemed. The happiness of which I dreamed was but a jest to laugh at then, a trifle that your wanton eyes beheld, yet would not recognize. I will be just your friend, I said. 'Twere better thus to be content than everlasting banishment. You scarcely paused to turn your head. Not needed, I had ceased to be a thing for your utility. I went my way as others do. These are not days to rant and weep. What pain there was I buried deep, together with my thoughts of you, and in that grave they lie apart, unmourned, save by a breaking heart. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Accusation by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. How dare you cease to be my friend, you who have held my heart and mind within your hand, a spell combined of passion and the joys that rend, cast over all that once was me. I would not, if I could, go free. I tell you to the depth of hell, my spirit, following in your wake, shall suffer for its folly's sake those torments which are yours, and dwell beside you through eternity. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Sea Cycle by Radclyffe Hall, read for LibriVox.org by Christine Lehman. 1. In at your cabin window, under the drifting sky, softly and all on tiptoe, winds that are passing by steal with a tender longing, pause with a yearning sigh, kiss you, and then in rapture, folding their pinions, die. 2. There is something divinely happy and something divinely fair at work in the world this morning. Its spirit is everywhere. I'm filled with a sense of youngness. My limbs are alive and strong. My heart with a throb of gladness re-echoes the ocean's song. The sun is a splendid halo that sets on the brow of earth. The wind is the flute of silver he tunes to his strains of mirth. The waves are abrim with laughter. The ship is a soul set free. And out through this perfect weather you'll presently come to me. 3. I pledged you in a cup of wine, and every passion that was mine I melted in that nectar rare, to drink to you, I swear, I swear. I pledged you in the cup of life, its inmost essence hot and rife. I caught from drops my heart bled there, to drink to you, I swear, I swear. 4. Listen, dear heart, awhile, till I repeat. In all my life there never was so sweet an hour as this, so perfectly complete, so full of joy, so deep, and so replete with ardent things. Alas, that time is fleet. 5. Good night, until tomorrow, dear. You go to rest, and I still here will dream of all you do and say, will contemplate as lovers may each thing you've touched, with eyes that find your form in all you leave behind. Your presence and the joy that fills the heart and soul with countless thrills is still beside me, and the ship throbs out with every rise and dip. The words that uttered once shall be my music through eternity. 6. Let me forget the land, the turmoil and the strife of cities. Let me stand alone with you and life, encircled by the sky, uplifted by the sea. The world is you and I, then give yourself to me. 7. Don't speak, a word would mar it all. Just put your hand in mine. This silence seems of heaven to fall, from thence a thing divine. Be still, to move would seem profane, so magic is the night, all hushed yet throbbing with a vein of passionate delight. Look up, and let your gaze enfold my face that bends above, and in my ardent eyes behold the ecstasy of love. 8. I take my heart with trembling hands, unworthy vassal though it be, sad wanderer in many lands, such as it is I offer thee, and will not even dare complain, shouldst thou this sorry gift disdain. Yet oh, be sure that every sigh, each beat of anguish deep and sore, has grown a dagger thrust which I must bear for all that's gone before, and bearing it will learn to know the cleansing agony of woe. And this remember ere you turn your head away in silent pride, the soul is young that still can learn new truths that love has simplified, and being young may still attain perfection through repentant pain. Then stoop to pity, do not close the gate of paradise and rest, to one whose spirit seeks repose within that haven of the blest, but rather fling the portal wide, and draw the pilgrim safe inside. 9. The past is like an empty dream, the people in it are not real, the joys and sorrows only seem as phantom hands I cannot feel. I will not even count the hours that lie between those yesterdays and what my present life embowers of love and all its golden ways. All that I am, my soul, my mind, and all I ever hope to be, I fling with scarce a look behind into this present ecstasy. I have not even one regret to waste upon those lagging years, too colorless to feign forget, too soulless for repentant tears. No sigh, though life should end for me today, so potent is the bliss of love, I think eternity is held embodied in a kiss. 10. If every rose that ever blew, all fragrant with the breath of spring, were here aglow with sun and dew, with ardent petals shimmering, what would their beauty count to me? Have I not lived to look on thee? If every note of music born, each wistful cadence low and sweet, were all combined from night till dawn to render melody complete, why should my throbbing sense rejoice that once has listened to thy voice? Nor do I think that paradise could dim with raptured awe my gaze, unfolding to my dazzled eyes the marvel of untrodden ways. For know I not of heaven a part, since I have found thy living heart? 11. O my beloved, though I live 1,000 years upon the earth, and though each pleasure take its birth from me, though it be mine to give all rapture, every thrill and joy known unto gods, though I destroy all ills, and overcome e'en death within the vapour of a breath that from thy lips passed into mine, fire-tipped of earth yet all divine, would be contained more ecstasy to chain the soul eternally with fetters woven of thy kiss than in Mahomet's realms of bliss. Nay more, of heaven I ask but this. 12. Over the silent waters flashes the beacon light, sharp as a strong white dagger cleaving the breast of night. Beacon of hope and safety, see, we are near the land. Come and stand close beside me, give me your dear white hand. Here in the wind and darkness, under the sighing mast, let us forget the future, let us condone the past. God in his high blue heaven, counting the falling tears, grants us this fleeting present out of the endless years. 13. The land, the land! It is the end of all my dreams, the sudden bend along the road, and face to face I stand with some deserted place, where death and darkness grow apace. The land, with beating heart, I am awake, alone, apart, to gaze upon the nearing shore, and know that all that's gone before means nothing to you any more. The land, O blessed sea, lift up your arms and cover me. One long caress upon your breast You know me, I have stood confessed before you. Now I fain would rest. 14. O time, there's much I could forgive, e'en though you told me that to live another hour was denied. I think I'd lay my life aside, with few regrets and scarce a sigh. It would not be so hard to die, but like a thief steals in the night, you robbed me, what was mine by right. Your ruthless hands have snatched away. The passions that were yesterday you've cankered with your deadly rust, and turned a living heart to dust. 15. Ah, if but once again to hear the song of waves against the keel, the sound of winds upon the sea, to watch the moonlight and to feel your hand in mine, to have you steal more close, till senses reel, and all the deep unfathomed bliss of life and death were in your kiss. 16. I have striven for 3 whole years to forget. I have prayed, I grovelled to God, and yet, at the glimpse of a pictured face, of a form that suggested yours, like a blighting storm, the past rose up, and in anguish cried, O fool, I live, it was you who died. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. End of Twixt Earth and Stars by Radclyffe Hall.